So this is a continuation video from the other one I posted. This is my backyard here. This is definitely a work in progress. But here we have Asclepias syriaca, which is the common milkweed, host for the monarch butterfly. All Asclepias are a host for the monarch butterfly. That's some kind of goldenrod. I'm not really sure what kind of goldenrod it is, and it's almost about to open up and bloom. My milkweeds didn't bloom this year, I think because I had moved them from another location, and I encourage everybody to plant common milkweed, but if you do, plant it in a spot where you can kind of let it go, because the roots run and it'll take over this whole area probably, and it won't take long to do it. Like I said, this is a work in progress here. There's my chickens. This here is sumac, staghorn sumac. It just showed up. I never planted it. It is a native to Michigan. I should say both of those are native to Michigan also. I haven't quite decided if I want to keep this plant. I think it is a host for somebody, and it does get fruit. I think you need both a male and a female plant in order for it to fruit, and the fruit is edible. It's kind of tart. There's my chickens again. And over here I've got a mess of some weeds and some violets. Eventually this will get cleaned out. Like I said, it's a work in progress, but I will keep the violets. There's one milkweed there. I'll probably just let that guy go too. Violets bloom early. I'm sure most people know what violets are. This is oxeye sunflower, or false sunflower. I just planted it a couple weeks ago. I don't know the Latin for it offhand, but I don't think it wants to live. It doesn't seem like it's doing very well. It's actually pretty much dead. I watered it and watered it and watered it, so I don't know if it got some kind of root rot or what, but it just kind of shriveled up and died. This is the backyard, and there's my wood pile. I have a native juniper over there and one here. I'm not a huge fan of juniper. The main reason I got them is for the fruit, for the birds. And I'm pretty sure juniper is edible for human consumption too, but don't quote me on that. In here I threw a bunch of bloodroot seed down. I haven't seen any seedlings yet, but hopefully it'll come up. It would be kind of neat to have a big patch of bloodroot right here. Chickens. This was a garden that I attempted to start with newspaper and compost on top of it to try and kill the grass, but as you can see, the chickens over here scratched it up, so that's not going to work in the backyard. This is pipevine, Dutchman's pipevine, some people call it. Aristolochia macrophylla. It is a host for the pipevine swallowtail. I don't think there are many in Michigan, but we do see them. This is a host, or I'm sorry, this is native to the south. We do have one Michigan native that will host the pipevine swallowtail, and I can't remember what it's called at the moment. Those are some hostas. All these non-native plants were plants that I just got from different jobs that I worked. throughout the years, and it's only been about 3 years since I really got into the planting the Michigan natives. So most things that are not native are things that I planted a long time ago. There's the chicken coop. There's my little alien. There's a rain barrel. And over here we've got some spiderwort. This I just found as a weed and brought it home. It's got to be some kind of cultivar because the flowers are not blue or purple. They're like a pinkish. This is honeysuckle. I have 2 of them, and there's a pumpkin there. I don't think I'll get any pumpkins off of it. This is a host for the clearwing moth. I think both of them, but don't quote me on that. And it will flower. I think in the spring the hummingbirds really like the flowers. And you can see it's got, right there, a fruit right there. I'm sure the birds probably eat the fruit. Over here's my little herb garden. Got your basic herbs: sage, basil, dill. Dill will also act as a host for the black swallowtail butterfly. That's where I found the caterpillars, actually, was on these dill plants, and I moved them out there to that roux. Cilantro, thyme. I planted some black fennel seed there, but it hasn't come up yet. And that also is a host for the black swallowtail butterfly. I have a mum back there. Tarragon, lavender, chives, rosemary, parsley, celery, oregano. All your basic herbs. And the chickens are following me. Horseradish right there. I have never dug it up or harvested it before. I think I'm going to this year or next. I don't know if it's supposed to be spring or fall when you harvest it. This is my compost pile. This here is Pearly Everlasting. I cannot remember the Latin, and I know it's a host for somebody, but off the top of my head I cannot remember who it's a host for. It's these little white flowers on it. I think my chickens have kind of tore it up some. And over here, this is gray dogwood. Oh, I should say that Pearly Everlasting is a Michigan native. This is gray dogwood. This is also a Michigan native. It can act as a host for some moths. I don't know if there's any butterflies that it hosts. And it'll get fruit, so the birds can eat the fruit. And that there is my sad looking big leaf aster. It's the only little patch that lived. I had a bunch of it that I put in here. And this here is Pennsylvania sedge. This is a native Michigan grass. The big leaf aster is native also. That's about as tall as it gets. Let's move these. I'm sure my chickens have probably tore it up too. It can be used in shade as a lawn grass if you want to use it. It doesn't need to be mowed. That's as tall as it gets, and it does get thicker. I think it stays clumpy, but it'll spread. So we'll see how that does. I just want to pan through here again one more time. These are more hostas that I've had. They keep getting moved around. There's a catmint right there. Although not a native, I have to say I do see bumblebees on it when it's in bloom. Fuchsia's obviously not native. some marigolds and some salvia, which are not native. And over here is another little non-native area. I do have to say I don't see any pollinators over in this area at all, ever. Got a peony. I cannot remember what those guys are called, and a bunch of hostas, some kind of non-native grass, Siberian iris, sedum right there. Probably a bad spot for sedum, considering the rain barrel's right there. Sedum doesn't really like wet. Daylilies. Here's my little mint patches. I've got chocolate mint on the right. Peppermint and spearmint are these two, but I can't remember which is which. And here I've got lemon balm and pineapple mint. I've considered getting rid of the lemon balm because it seeds itself everywhere. I would consider it an invasive species, but I do like to eat it, and you can put it in teas and stuff, so it's hard for me to rip it all out of there when I know it's edible. I keep pausing the video so you don't have to walk with me all through, but these are snowberry. They're a Michigan native. As you can see, it's flowering. It gets white berries on it that the birds will eat, and it is a host for the snowberry clearwing moth. The clearwing moths are the only moths that will fly during the day, and they look like tiny hummingbirds. The snowberry is more of a greenish color, and the hummingbird clearwing is more of a reddish color, I guess. We're back out in the front. You can see the butterfly garden in the distance over there. Like I said, it's a work in progress. I've got some plans for this grassy area up to the fence line, which is the property line. I'm going to put a pathway coming towards me and put some big blue stem grass along the one side so it'll kind of hide my neighbor's garage there. And these are red elderberry, which are not the edible elderberry. It did flower and fruit this year, but the birds have already eaten all the fruit. It's a red berry. I think its Latin is Sambucus racemosa. It's a Michigan genotype native. And here we've got jewelweed, which you can see is blooming. This plant does like it more wet, so I don't know how well it'll do here. It is, it's a Michigan annual, meaning it will seed itself around, but it will not come back from rootstock. And it is one of the top plants for hummingbirds. You can see it there again. Hummingbirds love this plant, but like I said, I don't know how well it'll do here. And those are two more elderberry there and there. And my plan is to put 4 more elderberry down this side here, so I can kind of block the road. I live on a busy road.